Hey everyone, and welcome back to Talk Tickers. You know us, your one-stop shop for all things earnings calls.
Yeah.
We're diving into the beauty world today.
Yeah. With ELF Beauty's Q3 2025 earnings call.
This brand manages to make both our wallets and our faces happy.
Absolutely.
Okay, so before we get into all the details, let's just
Okay.
do like a quick recap of those headline numbers.
Yep.
For those who might have missed them.
Right.
ELF continued its pretty impressive growth streak this quarter,
It did.
marking 24 consecutive quarters
Wow.
of both rising net sales and gaining market share.
That's not easy to do.
No, it's really not.
It's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
They're actually one of only a handful of
Fair.
public consumer companies to have that kind of consistency,
Hmm.
and the only cosmetics brand tracked by Nielsen to do so.
It's like they've discovered the fountain of youth, but for business growth?
Yeah, exactly. In Q3 specifically, their net sales were up a healthy 31%.
Nice.
They had an adjusted EBITDA of $69 million, and their U.S. market share jumped by a solid 220 basis points.
So on the surface, things seem pretty fantastic.
They do.
But I'm sensing there's a but coming here.
Well,
Yeah.
there is a little bit of a twist.
Go on.
While Q3 was definitely strong,
Mm-hmm.
the beginning of 2025 has seen a little bit of a slowdown
Interesting.
in consumption trends,
Right.
which was kind of unexpected.
So let's unpack that a bit.
Sure.
What are some of the factors that are contributing to this slowdown?
Well, they've pointed to a few key things.
Okay.
First, there's sort of a post-holiday hangover
Oh, yeah.
happening in the booty category overall.
Right.
Remember all those tempting deals we saw back in December?
I do.
Well, it seems like maybe consumers stocked up then
Yeah.
and are kind of taking a little breather now.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
I know my makeup drawer is still overflowing from all the holiday sales.
right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And second, ELF is facing some tough comparisons
Mhm.
because last year, their Glow Reviver lip oil launch went viral.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. And they also had higher shipments in Q4 of 2024
Okay.
as retailers stocked up ahead of a certain big game.
The Super Bowl effect.
Exactly.
It's hard to top a year with that kind of boost.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Like
And
a-
then the third factor is that
Mhm.
some of their spring 2025 product launches
Yeah.
haven't quite taken off as quickly as they anticipated.
Interesting.
Yeah,
It'll be worth keeping an eye on. Definitely how those new products perform in the coming months.
for sure.
Yeah. Is there anything else contributing to this, shift in momentum?
Well, there are also a few external factors at play.
Like what?
The wildfires in Los Angeles
Oh, right.
and the uncertainty surrounding the future of TikTok have both kind of impacted
Yeah,
consumer behavior
makes sense.
in the beauty space.
Yeah, it's like the world outside is creating a little bit of a distraction
Yeah,
from the latest lipstick launches.
right. So while their Q3 was definitely strong,
Mhm.
ELF is facing some new challenges
Mm.
as we move into the new year.
Okay, so the big question now is, how are they adapting to these changes?
That is the question.
What's their game plan for navigating these choppy waters?
Well, they're definitely not standing still.
Good.
They're adjusting their strategy
Okay.
by focusing more on marketing
Okay.
campaigns for those spring launches,
Exactly.
trying to get that buzz going.
Mm-hmm.
They're also taking advantage of expanded retail space
Okay.
they've secured,
Mhm.
and they're really emphasizing their value proposition.
Which makes a lot of sense
It does.
in a time when so many consumers are watching their budgets more closely.
Yeah.
So remind us,
Yeah.
what makes ELF's value proposition so unique?
Well, they've really mastered the art of offering these high-quality products
Okay.
that are inspired by prestige brands,
Right.
but at prices that don't break the bank.
Yeah.
It's like they've democratized luxury beauty.
I like that.
Yeah.
Making it accessible to everyone.
And that's a powerful position to be in,
It is,
especially in a
especially now.
potentially uncertain
Yeah,
economic climate.
exactly.
So they're doubling down on what they do best.
They are.
What else is on their strategic agenda?
Well, international expansion continues to be a major focus for them.
Okay.
They actually saw a whopping 66% increase
Wow.
in Q3 net sales from international markets.
That's huge.
It is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a serious growth spurt. Where are they focusing their international efforts?
Well, they're strategically entering new markets
Okay.
like Germany, the Netherlands,
Yeah.
Italy, and Mexico.
Got it.
And they're not just taking a one-size-fits-all approach.
Yeah.
They're actually tailoring their marketing strategies
Interesting.
to resonate with each specific audience.
So they're basically speaking multiple beauty languages.
You could say that.
Yeah, adapting to different cultures and preferences.
Exactly.
That's smart.
It is.
They're being very deliberate and thoughtful about their global expansion.
And of course, we can't forget about the digital landscape.
Look, yeah.
ELF was practically born in the digital age.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely. Digital channels are a core part of their strategy, and it's paying off. Digital accounted for a significant portion of their Q3 consumption.
Which makes sense,
It does.
considering they have a strong presence on Amazon
Right.
and a thriving loyalty program.
With millions of members.
Millions of members.
Yeah. They've also got a super popular mobile app
Oh, yeah.
with millions of downloads and an impressive rating.
Wow.
It's like they've figured out how to create a seamless digital experience for their customers.
So despite the slowdown,
Yeah,
they've got a lot of irons in the fire.
they do.
It sounds like they're not just reacting to these challenges,
Right.
but proactively positioning themselves for continued growth.
Exactly. They're not sitting back and waiting for the tide to turn.
Yeah.
They're actively steering the ship.
And that's what separates the good companies from the great ones.
Right.
The ability to
Exactly.
adapt and evolve.
Precisely. Now, there's one more piece of the puzzle we need to discuss.
Ooh, I'm intrigued.
Okay.
What else is cooking in the world of ELF?
Well, their secret weapon, innovation. Remember those holy grail products we talked about earlier? You know, the ones inspired by prestige brands, but at wallet-friendly prices?
Ah, yes, their claim to fame. Those are a big reason they've been able to capture so much market share.
Exactly. Their innovation team just seems to have a knack for identifying what's hot in the beauty world and then creating their own version
Yeah,
that everyone can afford.
it's like they're the Robin Hood of the beauty industry.
Uh-huh. I like it.
Stealing trends from the rich and giving them to the masses.
That's one way to put it.
Yeah.
And their Q3 results really show just how successful this strategy has been.
Okay.
They saw triple-digit share gains in face, lip, and eye makeup.
Wow.
So it's clear that those holy grail products are resonating with customers.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
We talked about the slowdown, their international expansion, their digital dominance, their innovative products.
Right.
But what does it all mean for you, the listener?
Good question. It means that even with this slight hiccup, ELF is still a major player in the beauty game.
Okay.
They're actively addressing challenges, they're adapting their strategies, and they're playing to their strengths.
So it's not necessarily a sign of weakness,
Right.
but more like a strategic recalibration.
Exactly. They're not just resting on their past successes. They're constantly evolving to stay ahead of the curve.
Which is something any investor should appreciate.
Oh, yeah.
It's all about that long-term vision.
Absolutely. And they're also demonstrating that you can achieve success in the beauty industry without having to sacrifice affordability or
Right.
accessibility.
Yeah.
That's a powerful message.
It is.
And it seems to be working for them.
It does. Now, before we jump into our wildly speculative, this is not financial advice segment,
Okay.
let's just do like a quick recap of everything we've learned about ELF today.
Sounds good. So far, we've established that they've had this incredible run of 24 consecutive quarters of growth, but are currently facing some headwinds
Right.
that have kind of softened their consumption trends.
And to combat that, they're focusing on those key strategies.
Right.
Marketing campaigns for new products, expanding their retail presence, and really leaning into that value proposition.
All while continuing that global expansion, which is seeing some really impressive results.
Yeah.
And further solidifying their digital dominance with that thriving loyalty program, the popular mobile app, and the strong online presence overall.
And of course, we can't forget about the innovative product development,
We can't.
which continues to churn out those holy grail products
Yep.
that keep consumers coming back for more.
Exactly. All of that points to a company that, even though it's facing some bumps in the road, has a lot of potential for the future.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Now, are you ready to unleash your inner market guru
I am.
and pitch that outrageous yet plausible trade idea?
Absolutely buckle up, because this one might surprise you. What if ELF partnered with a major streaming platform like Netflix or Hulu?
Interesting. I'm picturing an eyeshadow palette inspired by Stranger Things, or a lipstick collection based on Bridgerton.
See?
It's giving me shut up and take my money vibe.
Exactly. Imagine limited edition makeup collections themed around these popular shows or movies.
Yeah.
It would just tap into those massive fan bases and
Right.
generate a whole new level of excitement around ELF products.
And just think about the marketing potential. They could create exclusive content,
Mm-hmm.
tutorials with the show stars, hashtag challenges, fan art contests. The possibilities are endless.
It would be like merging the worlds of beauty and entertainment and social media into one giant marketing extravaganza.
And let's be real, who wouldn't want to channel their inner Eleven or Daphne Bridgerton with a killer makeup look?
Right.
I'd be first in line.
Me too. It's brilliant, it's bold, and it's...
This is not financial advice.
Of course. Of course. But it's certainly fun to think about. Now let's step back from Fantasyland for a moment. Okay. And analyze why this idea could actually work in the real world.
Okay, so what makes this more than just a whimsical daydream?
Well, first of all, ELF already has a proven track record of successful collaborations. Remember their partnerships with brands like Chipotle and Dunkin'?
Yeah, those were huge hits.
They were.
They're not afraid to think outside the box.
Nope.
And partner with brands that might seem unexpected at first glance.
Exactly. And second, they're already masters of creating hype and buzz around their products.
They are.
They know how to get people talking on social media.
And third, this kind of collaboration would perfectly align with their digital-first strategy.
It would.
It would give them a way to reach a massive audience online and tap into the power of streaming entertainment.
And let's not forget about the potential for cross-promotion. The streaming platform could promote the makeup collection to its subscribers.
Right.
And ELF could promote the show or movie to its followers.
It's a win-win for both brands.
It is. It's outrageous, yes, but definitely plausible.
Absolutely. Now, before we wrap up this deep dive into ELF beauty,
Okay.
let's leave our listeners with a few key takeaways.
All right, let's highlight the main points. First and foremost, ELF is a company that embraces change.
They do.
They're constantly adapting to this evolving beauty landscape and staying ahead of the curve.
They're like the chameleons of the cosmetics world.
Exactly. And their international expansion is clearly a major growth driver for them.
It is.
They're winning hearts and wallets all over the globe.
World domination, here they come.
Right. And we can't forget that digital is in their DNA. They're masters of connecting with consumers online.
They are.
And creating this seamless brand experience.
They were born in the digital age after all. It's like their native language.
It is. Another key takeaway is their commitment to innovation. Those holy grail products are a testament to their ability to create must-have products that are both affordable and high quality.
They're like the alchemists of the beauty world, transforming ordinary ingredients into magical potions.
I love it. And finally, they're not afraid to think outside the box and take risks.
Nope.
From collaborations with food brands to potential partnerships with streaming platforms, they're always pushing boundaries and exploring new possibilities.
So even though they're facing some challenges right now, they're still a company with a bright future.
I agree. They have all the ingredients for continued success.
All right, listeners. That wraps up another episode of Talk Tickers.
It does.
We hope you enjoyed this journey into the world of beauty business and outrageous trade ideas.
Until next time.
Keep those beauty routines fabulous.
And those investment strategies bold.
And don't forget to check out our other episodes.
Yes.
More earnings called Deep Dives. And of course, those outrageous yet plausible trade ideas.
We love hearing your thoughts. So make sure to hit us up on social media with your reactions to our ELF streaming platform collab idea.
Now, before we sign off, let's take a look at some listener questions.
Right.
We asked you what stood out to you from this deep dive into ELF beauty.
Yeah.
And you guys did not disappoint.
Never.
Our listeners always come through with those insightful questions.
You do.
First up, we have Beauty Lover 22 asking, do you think ELF's focus on value will hurt them in the long run as they try to expand internationally?
That's a great question.
It is.
And it's definitely something ELF needs to be mindful of
right.
as they kind of navigate these new markets.
Right, because different cultures have different perceptions of value and luxury.
Exactly. But I think what makes ELF unique is that they're not just about being cheap.
Right.
They're about offering high-quality products at prices that are accessible to everyone.
It's like they've redefined what value means in the beauty space.
And that message resonates globally.
It does.
Because everyone loves a good deal,
Of course.
especially when the quality is top-notch.
So as long as ELF continues to deliver on that promise, I think they'll be just fine.
Agreed. Next up, we have Stock Savvy 101 asking, what are some potential risks ELF should be aware of as they continue to grow?
Ah, yes. The ever-present risks that come with success? Let's break it down.
Okay. One major risk is increased competition. The beauty industry is constantly evolving.
It is.
With new brands popping up all the time.
It's like a jungle out there.
It is.
Survival of the fittest to most innovative.
Right. Another risk is shifting consumer trends.
Yeah.
What's hot today might be old news tomorrow.
So they need to stay ahead of the curve.
They do.
And anticipate those shifts.
Yes. And of course, they need to be mindful of the ever-changing landscape of social media.
Of course.
It can be a really powerful tool for growth, but also a source of volatility.
True, one viral trend can make or break a brand these days.
It really can. And let's not forget about economic factors.
Right.
Like inflation or a potential recession.
Yeah.
Which could impact consumer spending.
That's a big one. Especially for a brand that positions itself as affordable.
Exactly. So ELF needs to be prepared for all of those possibilities and have contingency plans in place.
Solid advice. All right, last question comes from Makeup Maven 99.
Okay.
What's your prediction for ELF's future?
Ooh, the crystal ball question.
I know.
Now, I'm not a fortune teller.
Right.
But based on everything we've discussed today, I'm feeling pretty optimistic about ELF's future.
Me too. They've got a lot of things working in their favor.
They do. They've got a winning formula, a strong brand, a loyal following, a talented team, and a commitment to innovation.
As long as they continue to play their cards right.
Right. I think they'll continue to thrive in this ever-competitive beauty landscape.
Agreed. All right, folks, that wraps up another episode of Talk Tickers.
It does.
We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into ELF Beauty's Q3 2025 earnings call.
We did.
Remember, this is not financial advice.
But we hope it's given you some insights and inspiration for your own beauty routines and investment strategies.
Until next time,
Be beautiful
and stay profitable.